Are live. Hey guys, happy Canada Day if you are celebrating today. It's Wednesday, was supposed to be 1 p.m. Eastern. It's now 1:20 Eastern time. Canada Day, July 1st, our national holiday, and normally there's lots of stuff going on Canada Day. We usually go to Ottawa to spend time in the nation's capital. That's my hometown, but nothing's happening today, so I am going to do a little live stream. I'm going to troubleshoot some new ideas for some I posted a video for some scarf clips on on YouTube yesterday for Tip Tuesday, so I'm going to work on some ideas for that. Hey Peggy, you're the first one on. How are you? And Peggy, I think it was you that had commented in the Facebook page about the scarf clips, the little scarf pins that they looked like they were hair clips. So that inspired me to find some of my old pictures of hair clips. I'm just going to pull up the video here on YouTube so I can see your comments. And yeah, so I'm going to work on troubleshoot some ideas for some hair clips and show you some pictures of some old ones that I have. So there we go. Let's just pull up the video, make sure the sound is off. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So we have Mustafa. Hi. Amber. Hey, Amber, how are you? Wendy, Paula. Fantastic. Hey, everybody. Hope everybody is having a great day. If you are in Canada, let me know in the comments. And if you're not, you will be celebrating, if you're in the States, on Saturday. Having a problem with the video. Anyone else? What's wrong, Wendy? Is it buffering or something? It looks okay from here, but maybe everybody can let you know no problems there. So maybe it's your Wi-Fi. Maybe you can close some of the other apps on your phone or something. It could be that, or if there's bad weather, it might be something like that as well. So we'll see. So here's the necklace that I posted in the Facebook group of the little maple leaf, the little beaded maple leaf. So that was really fun. We did that, I did that many years ago. I do a lot of craft workshops with kids. And so I did an event on Canada Day a few years ago where I was in the park and the people were beading and I had to help them bend it into the different shape, the shape of the maple leaf and stuff. So that was super fun. And yeah, so today I'm going to work on some ideas for the hair clip slash scarf pin slash shawl pin. And this is the wire that I've been using. Amber knows about my wire because I sent her a picture of this wire when I was in Michael's the other day. So this is 16 gauge wire from Michael's, and it seems really good because I had another aluminum wire that was 16 gauge, but it was very soft. So for the hairpins, this is a good one. I think it's just copper. I'll link up in the description what actually the product is so that you guys can know, but it's a good stiff wire and a good gauge. Kelly says happy Canada Day. Aw, thanks so much. Yeah, we're gonna have a good day. We're gonna go out to Tim Hortons for a fancy donut after. That's gonna be the extent of our celebration. They have Fruit Loop donuts. Let me know if you have a Tim Hortons near you. That's iconic in Canada. It's a donut chain that was started by a hockey player named Tim Horton, and he lived near Toronto and he started this chain, and it's uber popular. We actually went to a Tim Hortons in New York City and we were laughing because everything's like industrial size. So instead of little Timbits, they have like massive Timbits and industrial size quantities of different things. So that was fun. But there was only, I think, 1 or 2 in New York City. So they're slowly moving down to the States, the donut shops. So that's cool. So let me flip around the screen and I'm going to show you some things. I have some, well, these are the pictures that I put in the Facebook group. So this was actually like a fake hair, and so these are just like, I guess it was a hair extension or something. So these are some old ones. I probably did these 25 years ago, these hairpins. So that was really fun. And then these ones I did probably a few years after that. So this is like the one that I did in the live stream. Not the live stream, the Tip Tuesday. And then these are other kind of more abstract one. I like this one with the treble clef, and then just a squiggly one. So I'm going to work on some of those. Hey Neil, welcome. And then I wanted to show you some other fun stuff. I was digging through my old things and I was looking for it because I'd done other hair clips where you can buy like a barrette and then do like a little wire ornament to go on the barrette. And I had made some of those which were really cool, but I couldn't find one. I made a really cute one with a bicycle and I couldn't find it. But this I thought was fun. I used to, when I first started making jewelry in Montreal, I was selling on the street and we were making hand painted buttons. Well, I started this with my friend from Germany and she moved back to Germany. But so this one is a pin. And just with an abstract painted design. We used to take badges and remove the publicity on it and then put fabric and paint it. And this was another one she did based on a painting. But look at the back, it's like a hair clip. So that was really cool. Let's see if it still works. Like that was, oh, you have to pinch it like this, I think. So we just like made a badge and stuck like a little hair clip on the back. And it made a really fun little hair clip. So that's cool, like upcycling badges to do things like that. And then I found this random thing that I made out of, you know, those daisy wheel metal things that you steam broccoli with. So I made this random little piece with this steamer piece. And so that was kind of funky. I always run into the most bizarre things when I dig through my old stuff. So I'm gonna let me flip the screen around and then I'll get working on some stuff and I'm gonna check out your comments as well. So let's bring this around. Here we go. Oh, Nina's hopping on. Just got in from a walk. Awesome. Very nice. That's beautiful. We usually do our walks late at night, but we are gonna go out for a little drive today. So there we go. So I'm missing a whole bunch of conversations. I just had dinner. We had pizza, celebrated Tanu's completion of finals. Awesome, congratulations. That's wonderful. She must feel so good to have all that done out of the way. Of course, I guess all of her studies were online in the last few months. I know that a lot of people are in that situation, and in the universities in the fall, they're all going to be online as well. They're not going back to real classes at least till next year. So here are the ones I did yesterday. And it's 7:30. Nina says 7:30 and boring weather with the cold and rain. Oh yeah, that can happen. Well, it's actually, we're just going into a heat wave right now, so we're lucky we just got air conditioning, so we feel really spoiled right now. So this one went like that, and then this one went like that. So these were the scarf pins that I did, and then these were the pictures that I posted. So I thought it would be fun I could just maybe start with doing like a little simple one or something. This is pretty straightforward. I think I'm going to do also the treble clef, which is cute as well. So maybe I'll start with the treble clef because it's super cute, and then we'll just go from there. So, and I had two different ways to do these sticks. I used to do the sticks like sort of like twisted like that. So I can show you two different ways to do the sticks. So let's start by getting the wire. There we go. And okay, love those scarf pins. Yeah, I hope you guys make some. Kilt pins are a good idea. Yes, okay, for kilt pins, true, there's that too. And there's Jonathan hopping in. Hey, Jonathan, how are you? Now, the trouble with working with these larger pieces on the live stream, it's very hard for me to cut a big piece of wire without getting it stuck all over the place, but I'll do what I can. And I'm going to start, I'll make them maybe on the small size so it just doesn't take up too much space. So say, for example, let's start with a simple one. Let's start with the treble clef. And I've done quite a few tutorials for treble clefs on my channel for earrings and different things like that. So I'm just going to find, I have my ring cone here. So just to start, we'll start by doing the shape of the treble clef. And we want to leave, like if I go by this picture of what I've already done, I'm going to make a decent sized little loop at the bottom too. So, and we'll probably have to curve it too to be able to go over a scarf. So if we just start by doing this first shape, and then how I do the treble clef is I always go to the top. So depending on how big you want it to be. So we're going to go to the top here. And that one I did the stick from top to bottom. I might try to do it side to side, because if you want it to stand up, I'm thinking it might be better to do it side by side. So let me try something different. I always like to do things a little bit different than what I've done before. So I'm going to just try, this is how I start the treble clef. And sometimes this can get like a little pushed out of place. And as always, if you guys want to chat in the comments, feel free, because sometimes I get a little carried away and can't keep track of all the comments. So now to do the round part, to form the round part, I just would take this and go around here. Now, if I think I want it to be a little bit wider to see if I can make it work as a horizontal treble clef, because otherwise you get the idea. You can definitely do it vertically, but let's just see how we do it if we just do like a large kind of circle. Okay, we'll just start with a large circle, and then I like it to be kind of spiraled up, so I just put it on my cone and then spiral the way up here. Okay, and we're just going to form this around and just trying to figure out the best way to do this as we go. So we're just going to push this in to make the spiral. We'll just bring it around. I don't want to make too much of a spiral. You know, I don't want it want to have like little spaces in there. Okay, so now we're going to, we don't need the top part to be that wide, because if I'm not putting the stick through it, let's try to do it this way. So we're just going to bring this around, bring that, and this one, see, I've cut it too long, so I could actually make this longer if I need. So it's always good to have a little bit of give on both sides. So now if we bring this over here, and the wire seems soft, but it's really not too bad. So let's just go ahead and bring that one around. The other thing you could do is musical notes, which would be super cute too. So maybe we'll do that one as well, because for this, we're not going to be able to put a huge amount of the scarf in there, but I think it should be fine. Okay, so let's just go ahead, and now if we want to bend this, pins look great on fabric or a knit hat. Yes, definitely. Yeah, that's the advantage of this. You can use a thick wire, and if your piece is knitted, like a loose knit, you're not going to like tear holes in it. So this you couldn't put through a fabric, but you could definitely put it through something knitted, and it wouldn't be a problem at all. So let's just cut that end and pinch this in. Okay, so if we have a sort of a treble clef thing going here, I like the idea that this becomes a little bit wider. It's kind of more stylized, like it's not a typical kind of treble clef if you're going to stylize it like that. Now, the other thing you could do for sure is put a bead there if you wanted to, but today I'm just going to do things without beads. So if we go ahead and just make a little loop here and give it a little clip. I really like this wire. I only bought it at Michael's because I had ordered gold wire on Etsy about like 10 times, and all of the wire I received, either the color wasn't good or the thickness wasn't good. And so this is good to always see your product in person, like the wire in person, before you buy it. Wendy's loving it. Awesome. So here's the treble clef. And then if you want to do this stick, so we're just going to get a piece of the wire, the same wire. I'm going to cut it not too big. I don't want to use too much. Now, the idea here would be, because you'd want it to go here and then like here. So let's see if this is actually going to work. I think it will. I think it'll work well. Now, something that I've done just to avoid the pin from like sliding out like that, I like to do like a little jog on it. So say we put it here, and then about where the center is going to be, we're just going to take this and do a little bit of a jog, just like this. And this just gives it a little bit of something to grip onto at the back, so it won't like slide out so much. So if we do that here, and we have that here, and then on this side we can do, oh, you know, it would be really cute here, and I'm just thinking about this as we go. Why don't we do a note here? So let's see if we have enough wire. So if we go around, we're going to make a little, this is going to be tight, but I think it's going to work. So if we do this to here, that to there, normally I could have made it a little bigger, but I think it's going to be adorable. That's why I love troubleshooting here, because I always get some interesting ideas while I'm working. So there we go. So that's like a little part of a note. But if we want to make an 8th note, Now I know my note terminology because I did take piano many years ago. So my mom's a musician. I think a lot of you know my mom is a, a pianist and a cellist, and she used to teach for many, many years. And she actually went back to university when she was 50 to get her music degree because she was trained as a nurse. So here's loving this little note here. So Wendy said, just logged on with my computer, got a new plug and battery. Good stuff. Awesome. Okay, so there we go. I got to make sure my computer's plugged in. Yeah, and my iPod's plugged in. That's good. So there we go. So there's the cute little note. And let's see. Wendy says, played the cello a million years ago. That is so awesome. Yeah, my mom specialized in teaching adult beginners. She didn't enjoy teaching kids just because often the parents were very put a lot of pressure on their children to be, you know, to do all the exams and be like perfect and all that stuff, which is fine if you want to be like that, but it's not my mom's speed at all. So she taught adult beginners. So this is super cute, guys. I think this is going to work. But what I need now is some fabric or something to test it with. And of course, I don't have anything handy. Let me see what I have in my bag of tricks here. This is actually something, see, I have this handy. I was making crazy stuff when I first moved to Montreal. This was actually a sort of a scarf kind of belt thing. Oh, I guess it goes this way. So I was making these hand painted buttons, and then I made like a belt scarf thing to go, and it would go around your waist. So that's so fun. I made that like 100 years ago. So let me just take these off. Maybe I could use this fabric as a base for this. So we're going to take these. I used to like cover these buttons with fabric, which was really neat. So I'm in love with the treble clef. Yes. So let's see if it's going to go on here. If this is too thick, I'll have to get something else. So the idea would be you would put it here. I'm thinking this is way too thick, but let's just see. We're going to go like this and like that. I think this is too thick. You know, let's forget that. It's going to be way too thick. And let's just grab a roll of toilet paper because it's handy. And that's what I use for Kleenex. So let me just do this. This is going to be easier. So we'll just put it on the toilet paper. Why not? And we're just going to like put this underneath. Okay, so we're going to put that underneath and then put this to this side. Okay, and then this, it's maybe even too much. So what you're going to do, this is probably a good design for like a smaller scarf, but I mean, you can push it. You can definitely push it. You can mold it if you want to make it more. Okay, let's just try this. So it would work for ribbon necklace. Great idea. Yeah. So you can take this and mold it. Okay. We can definitely like make it more on the curved side, and then that's going to be easier to hold in place. So let's just do it a little more on the curved side. And then we're going to put this in here. And then you're going to put the pin in one side, around to the back, and then you're going to bring it over to this side. Okay, and then having that dip in the back is going to help hold it. And so it's going to go something like, now this is flipping, so how can we fix that? I think if it's like sitting against something, it should be fine. And if this is a scarf, you know what? If this is a scarf with knitting in it, it's going to be totally fine because that's going to sit in place. So that's super cute. I'm liking that a lot. So let's just put this one at the side for now. Definitely going to try this. Awesome. Fantastic. Paula says, Robin says, hello. Hey, Rob. Hello to Robin. And yeah, and Kelly, and hi, Robin. Good. I haven't seen all the comments. So good, guys. So there's definitely a keeper. We'll definitely do that one. Would look nice in braided hair. See, exactly. We could definitely put that in hair like these ones we're doing. So we could definitely put that in some hair for sure. So now let's just take this one and let's just do a note. We're on the music theme, so why don't we just go for it? So I'm going to cut a longer piece of this, and we're going to do just a music note and see how it goes. So if we just do this one, I'm going to cut it like bend it sort of halfway. We're going to bring that one down here, and we're going to do this one here. I don't want to do it too big. I just don't want to run out of wire. So we're going to go here. And then what we do from here, maybe it should have been bigger, but maybe I'll just do it a little bit bigger just to have a little bit more. Do you file the tip of the wire to remove the burrs? You can definitely file the end of the wire. I generally don't because my cutters are pretty good. The flush cutters are pretty good. So what happens is if you cut the end really flush and then just put it like just kind of with your flat pliers, push it so it's really flush in there, you're not going to have any rough ends. This end here for sure, you could file it because it's going to be a little bit picky, and you could just file it with a nail file or a small, like a fine file would be perfect. So 16 gauge, yes, this is a 16 gauge from Michaels, so I will link up that wire so you guys can see what it looks like. And like I was saying, I tried to order many wires from Etsy for our cake toppers, and the problem was when they arrived, the color wasn't exactly how I liked, and also the texture. You can't even always tell what the texture. And I found that a lot of the aluminum wire I was ordering from Etsy was way too soft for the cake toppers. So I found this one at Michael's, and it's perfect. I made like a little pair of skiers the other day with this wire, and it was so nice. It was like really solid and pretty, and yeah, so I'm very happy. So now to do the notes, hopefully you can see where I'm going with this, but what you want to do is once you have those kind of spirals done, then I'm just going to cut these so they're at about the same place. I will go find those little bits of wire later that just flew across my living room. And let's just do the little, I went to Michael's at the weekend. Yes, yeah, Michael's has amazing sales, and they were closed for a long time and they had curbside pickup, but now they're open, so it's pretty awesome. They have some great stuff, and then of course they often have the 40% off coupons. So that's for this wire, because it's a regular priced item, it's not one of their value items. I used the 40% off coupon, and it ended up costing less than $10. So that was great. Definitely worth it, because there's enough for me to make several cake toppers and other items as well. So it's definitely worth it to get that, and especially if you can get the coupon. So now I'm just slowly pushing these spirals together. This is how I do the spirals. I generally do like a cone shape, and then I push the spirals like flat. So I have other videos I can show you, more detailed of how to do that. But basically you just use a cone form, make a kind of a cone, and then you push them in. So here's the note, which is super cute. I'm so in love with these music ones. Yay! Yeah, the music is really fun. So now the key is, how are we going to get it to work as a pin form? So there are a few types of things. You could actually do a pin this way, like diagonally, or maybe this way. So what I probably should do is actually get a proper scarf or something that I can put it in to try it. So I think I will do that. What I'm doing now is just forming like a slightly kind of rounded form. See, like it's a little more on a curved side, because if you're doing hairpins or scarf pins, it's probably good to have it a little bit curved. So let me go and grab a knitted something to put it in, and then we'll test it from there. Maybe in a bit. Actually, yeah, do you want to? Well, whenever you're ready, it's good. Okay, so I found a couple of things. Actually, Mimi's offered to come and let me try some of these in her hair as well. So we'll definitely try that too. This is just a grungy old mitt, so I don't know if we can use that. That might be better. It's less distracting than the other one. So here, let's use this grungy old mitt, and we're going to get a piece of wire to make this stick. A pin would cover them. You could have put circles in the wires. Okay, you lost me. I'm not quite sure. Circles in the wire. And the pin would cover them. Little bit lost, but you could just let me know what you mean. So before I go ahead and bend this, let's just try it. Like say we put a pin this way. Let's just compare it because now I'm not quite sure how this is even going to work. So let's just go here on the straight part of the pin. Could put some circles. I think I need a visual. So there we go. So we're going to just go see if we go down this way, is it going to stay? That's the question. Possibly, but it might also come out. So let's just try it the other way. Okay. Sorry, halfway down the note stem. Like down these. Oh, is that what you mean? To put like a circle here to stick them through. That's actually a pretty brilliant idea. Is that what you mean, Wendy? If that's what you mean, let me know. Do you mean to put like a little loop here and a little loop here? Because that's actually a really brilliant idea. But let me try this. And then if that, I'm going to try that anyways, because I think that's a fabulous idea. So if we go in here just to try this first, and then you guys will have an idea. So if we stick it here, treble, like this is doing this, right? So let's do Wendy's idea. Yay! So, and if my wires aren't big enough, what I can do is I can make these longer by pulling this down. That's why I love doing these live streams. You guys have the best ideas. So let's bring this down a little bit. We're going to make it a little elongated. And if we go ahead, it's not going to be necessarily a straight line down, but it should be fine. So if we take this and say we go like halfway down or something, and make it, and this will be a good experiment, so I'll know for the future. So if we just do like a little loop around, okay, we do a little, and we don't want it too big, too small. So let's just, if we do it, it actually could be a little smaller because it only has to be big enough for the wire to go through, right? So if this is going to go through there. So in theory, we could actually make this a little bit smaller. So if we bring that down there, and that one goes in there, that's pretty good. And then let's just measure it at what point we did it. So we did like there to there. Okay, and then this one, like about the same, try to get in the same spot. Okay, is that going to be more or less the same? I always try to use a measurement on my pliers, which does, you know, sometimes works well, sometimes it's still tricky to do. So let's go ahead and do this loop here. Okay, I like it. Awesome. Let's see if it's going to work. Should be pretty good. And we're just going to go here. It's just, and once it's on the scarf, it's going to be slightly hidden as well, because if the scarf is a little bulky, you might not notice that little transition. So see, there is a little bit of a oh, I did one on one side and one on the other, but that's probably fine. You could have done them both to one side, but I'm not going to back it up now because I don't want to scratch it. But you could have done like both that loop to going to that side instead of that side. But I think for the sake of demonstration, it's not really important. So now what we can do is reconfigure these loops. You know, we've got quite a bit of flexibility here. So we're just going to reconfigure the loops a little bit so they're at the right height, so they're somewhat together. So there we go. That's very cool so far. And then if you do want to curve this out a little bit, you can definitely like do that. Put it on your round form and curve it out a little bit. Okay, and then you want these to be somewhat like straight, right? So these little loops. So let's try this and see if this is going to work. And yeah, I love the idea, Wendy. So I'll definitely, you know, keep that in mind too when I do future tutorials for things like this, that it's a possibility to do a more discrete loop at the back. I like it. So now we're going to get this. Okay, it should work. So let's try it. Wish we could share pictures here. You can share pictures on on Instagram and I can show them here. Neil, was there something specifically you wanted to show me? So now if we just get this going here, and so this would be, let me just pull this straight as I can, and I'm going to just cut this one here. Okay, and say this goes in here. I might have even tried to make it a little bit wider because there's not, I'm just trying to see, because this is pretty flat here, but it should be okay. So let me just see. Let's see how it works if we, I think I do want to do a dip in it though, because I'm a little bit worried about, okay, let me just do a little dip in it here. I'm just really worried about it pulling out, and that's definitely going to be something you could experiment with. So if we just do a little bit of a dip here and see around here, and that goes here. So, and then this one, I'm just going to do a very basic loop on here, and or I could do a spiral. I don't want it to be too busy, but you could do like I did on one of the ones yesterday, which was just to do a loop and then dangle some beads down. You could definitely do that too. So let's just give that a clip, and we're going to just put that one there. So let's see what happens when we put it on my grungy mitten. So there we go. I really have to get a nice scarf. So say we put it in here, and we're going to put this in one side, but then we have to like kind of wiggle it around so it'll go through that loop a little bit. So now what we want to do is just take a little bit of the knitted stuff. So we're going to take a little bit of the knitted stuff. I probably should file that in, but because this mitt is, I have no attachment to this mitt, I don't mind if it gets pulled out of shape. So now we're going to put this one through that side, and it should be okay. So that's sort of the idea. I think maybe we need more, actually more stuff in there. So let's just put a little bit more of the knitted stuff in there, because sometimes you need more fabric or more knitted, like the knitted stuff inside, so it will hold in place. Like if you don't have enough in there, there's not going to be enough tension to hold it in place. So that's pretty good, not too bad. And then that just goes like that. So let me know what you guys think of that, if you have any other like ideas for improvement for that. But that's not too bad, and you could even cut this a little shorter if you wanted. Like if this goes right to the edge there, I guess it depends on how far you're, like if you're going to push it right to the edge, which might be better, we could just cut a little bit here and see how that goes. So so far I like the idea. I think it's so cool. Linda, how are you? I saw you posted something in the group and I hadn't seen you post for a while. It's great to see you. So we're doing these kind of scarf pin, hairpin things, and I want to see if it's going to fit in Mimi's hair. So Mimi, are you ready?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay, she's going to come and I'm going to see if they're going to actually go in her hair. So let's remove this one. And I think there's probably other ways we can do this too. Like there's another idea where you could do something and then leave a little end and have it like go, maybe I'll try something like that. I like that idea too of doing everything with one piece. So I might try that next. But so far this is what we have here. And then I have this type of thing too. Like I'm thinking maybe I'm going to try one like this, but this is all going to be one piece of wire. So I'll do that one next. Heather, curve the pin outside. So curve this pin? Is that what you mean, Neil, to curve this one? Because, yeah, I guess I could do that. I just make an actual curve in this pin. If that's what you mean, just let me know. Yes? Okay, so now that I've cut it a little too short, but maybe it'll still work. Like if I just curve this and then put it through there, it's going to flip a little bit, but I could definitely play around with that. So here's Mimi. So I'm going to flip the screen, guys, just for a second to try this in her hair. And then I'm going to go back and do the third design. Yeah. So here, we're just going to go over.
Right on the other side.
Okay. So here comes Mimi. Say hello.
Hi.
Happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day.
And I'm gonna see if I can put this in her hair without completely destroying it. So
I'm
we're
just gonna, oops, I'm
Well,
just gonna move the camera so I
okay.
can sit. Sorry, guys.
okay. You
Hi,
got
Mimi. Hi, Mimi.
Wendy and Neil say
Hello.
hi, and Waden says hi. Hey, Waden, how are you? So let's turn around. Okay, so just here.
Yeah,
So
just like
can you
where
guys
the braid
see?
is on.
Maybe let's come a little, just a little bit closer so we could see. And there's Mustafa. Mustafa,
Hello.
I show Mimi your stuff all the time, all your beautiful craft stuff that you send to me on Instagram. So there we go. So we're gonna just take a little piece of hair, and if we put the treble clef here, and we put this under, and then we put this here, I think it should work.
Trying to see from the other camera what you're doing.
There we go. So if we do, it's pretty cool. It kind of like goes underneath a little bit, but I think the idea is there. So I need a lesson in Instagram. Yeah, Instagram's a whole nother ball game. Neil says pretty. It's super cute. Nice. So you'll have to watch the live stream to see it, or can you see it if you look?
I can see it in that
Yeah,
screen.
that's cool. So that one works. So let's take that one out, and we'll try this one, which is just, it's got like this little kind of weird dangly, the little pin isn't as good, but it's all right. We're gonna try. I probably cut it too short now, but so we put that one in there, and then this one here. Oh, it's gonna slide out. So this one you're gonna need to put more hair. And that's gonna just take trial and error to see how much hair you're gonna need to put in it. So let's just put this here and put that one here. But I certainly like the idea. I think it's super cool. It's too bad you don't still have those little fake, those little doll wigs. We could use those as a demo.
True.
I didn't even think about that. So yeah, so this one, yeah, it's definitely, yeah, it's gonna slide woo down. But if you have textured hair, that one's probably gonna be good. So
I just straightened my hair too, so it might be a little bit more like
a little
silky.
bit, a little bit silky. So guys, say bye to Mimi, and I'm gonna turn the camera around and try one more. They would look great with braids. Braids
would,
is
yeah, true.
Braids is a good
I have
idea.
a little braid on this side currently.
Oh, okay. I'd have to make a teeny little one. Oh, which would be super cute. Good. Oh, everyone says bye, Mimi. So, okay. So I'm gonna switch the camera around. Awesome. Thanks, Mimi, so much. I really appreciate that. And perfect. So now Neil says bye, Mimi too.
Bye.
So, okay. So let's try to do this one. And that's all made with one piece of wire. So let's just try that one. I think it should be pretty simple. So I'll just cut a big piece of wire, pretty big. And you know, these you can make any size. You can make them a little bigger if you want. So what I think I did with this, it's been a long time since I made that, so I can't really remember, but it looks like I just made like a long stick. So we're just gonna cut, like form a long stick, and then just imagine how long you want the piece to be, and that's gonna like sit a little bit below it. And then it looks like I made almost like a little spring thing. So if we bend that at a right angle, okay, let's just bend it here at a bit of a right angle. Let me move this over. And we're going to form a bit of a spring. So we're just gonna go around here and maybe go around 2 or 3 times. So just depending on how big you want the spring to be, I think it's going to be like this. So just go around, form a little bit of a spring. Let's try it twice, or let's try it 3 times. I think the sample I did 3 times. So if we bring it around here, okay, so we've got like a little spring thing going to, and then it also creates a little bit of space in there. And it looks like all I did was I did some back and forth loops. So if you want to go ahead and take your large pliers, okay, bring it around here, and then maybe this one, I'm just going to push it up a little bit more. Okay, we're going to bring this in a little bit. And let's do another one on this side. And then you could kind of get a little bit bigger as you go. You could definitely add beads to something like this. So if we're just going to go back and forth here, and then for the next loop, you probably want it a little bit bigger, so maybe you can use a pen And we're just going to bring this, and it's very difficult to stay under the camera with this long piece of wire, but let's just bring this in here and bring it in a little bit. So we're just going to do a back and forth thing. See, that's got a slightly larger loop to it. So why don't we do one like that? Let's do another one on that side, slightly larger loop. And hopefully we'll be able to mold it a little bit. So keep in mind that this is going to be your center point, and then just form a bit of a pattern around those. So if we're going to go here, and then we can always do even a slightly larger loop, either with the end of a Sharpie, or if you have a larger marker or round form. So say we go around here. I think that's going to be cool to have like a larger one on that side. And do I want, let me just think if I want another one. I can't do it too long though, because I'm going to run out of wire for that. So now we're going to do another one here. Yeah, I think I'm going to just start working my way back in, because I'm going to run out of wire, or run out of space. So there we go. So if we just go back and forth, do I want that one bigger? Maybe I want that one a little bit bigger. Yeah, I'm trying to get it somewhat balanced and somewhat, you know, balanced and asymmetrical at the same time. If that's a bit of an oxymoron, but there we go. So we're going to go in like that. Bring this one out a bit. Okay. And, you know, sometimes the more you work things, the worse it gets. So sometimes you're better to keep it simple, but that's okay. We're just going to work our way back in. This is very, you know, open-ended. You can really do anything you want with this. Like this one, look at that. That was super squiggly. So you can do it that way as well. And that's done in the same way with a little spring on the end. So definitely sky is the limit for this design. You can really go for it and do any kind of which way you want. Definitely add some beads. But this is sort of a nice, simple way to do a kind of either a scarf clip or a hair clip, or what have you. And I'm going to go ahead and then come back and use my pliers again to bring it in. I love these pliers. I've had these for 30 years. I think they're probably my favorite pliers. And I bought them at a surplus store in Toronto, so I really don't know where to get any of my tools anymore. The only ones I know is these ones you can still buy at John Bead in Toronto, but you have to order for $300. It's a wholesaler. But I bought those years ago, so they're great pliers too. So now we have like a little bit of a curvy thing back and forth. And then we're just going to come around here, keep going with it until we're towards the end. Very pretty. Thank you. Thanks, Alice. Yeah, I like this design. Sometimes simple is better, you know? It's sometimes we complicate things. So now it looks like I just did like a little hook thing there, but I think what I'm going to do is actually do a closed loop. So if we're going to bring this around, okay, and make sure it's somewhat centered, and we'll do a closed loop. I do have enough wire. I could have done more, but I think for the sake of demo, we're just going to keep it really simple. So say we make that loop here at the end, and we're going to actually close it. So Inga says VI there, Everton. Okay, I think everyone. Okay, hi everyone. Oh, little typo. That's, yeah, that happens, eh? It's definitely, and you can't edit those comments, I don't think. So, so that's okay. We accept all typos. Not a big deal. So here we go. So we have this. There's a closed loop on the end. There's a spring going on here, and then this. You can definitely file that down. You can just cut it a little bit. I might have a file handy. Let me see. I keep all my little handy tools in this container, and I do happen to have a file. So there we go. So if you do want to file the end, this is a very fine file. The best way to do it is put it flat on the table and just, sorry for the noise. Phone writes by itself. Yes. Yeah, that can happen. I Siri in a lot of my my writing as well, but it's ultimately you have to spell check it because there's a lot of errors. So there we go. I know when they translate my videos, like if you push closed captions on my videos and you want automatic YouTube captions, they call me Heather Boy, what is it? Heather Boy Wire something else. Anyways, it becomes a really bizarre thing and I forget what it is. So sometimes I try to manually edit my subtitles. Oh, Heather Boy Dwyer. That's what it is. Dwyer. That's what I remember because I haven't done subtitles for a while. So here's like a very simple, beautiful piece. So let's get our gross mitten again. Actually, let's not get the gross mitten. Let's get this beautiful scarf that my friend Allison knit me because it's a beautiful scarf and it's, I think, the only knitted scarf I have. The pattern is a little distracting, but it'll show you the idea. So now what you want to do is just poke this in here. Okay, so we're going to poke it through and here, let me just get a little bit more in here because I think we can put quite a bit in here. So we're going to push this into here and then bunch up the scarf how you want to wear it, okay, however much. But maybe if you don't want it sticking through those things, we want it more flat. Let's try it that way. So it's a bit of trial and error to see the best way to showcase the, you know, the scarf or the hair or whatever. So if we stick it in here, okay, and then we're going to be able to stick it through this hole. But what you could do is, because these are done in a way that they're more flexible, you just lift and push. So that's perfect. It's actually really, really nice, but it's flat, right? So let's fix it up again. Yeah, what I should have done is maybe, how can we do this? Just temporarily, maybe we can just move this out of the way just to curve it up. So I'm just going to push it up out of the way just briefly so I can curve this in place. You might not have to do it that way, but yeah, I realize that it's not so nice when it's flat. So if you have trouble doing it like with using the round form, you can just mold it by hand, you know. So just go around, mold it a bit by hand so it becomes more curved. And then this part you can put back. So let's put this part back. Okay, we're just gonna go around here and form that so we can go back. So maybe note to self, before you like twist this in that direction, you can curve this bit first to see how it goes. So let's remove this. We'll get back the grungy mitt just so you can, so it's a plain color so you're gonna see it better. So we're going to put this in here, stick it right through here. And well, it fits quite a bit of wool in there. So we're going to stick that here and then pull and push. So there we go. So that is quite beautiful. I really like this simple design. I think it's really neat. And yeah, let's have a look at everything that we made. Can you do the design first and hammer it? Yes, actually, that's a really good idea. You could definitely hammer it. So you could do this part and hammer it maybe to there and then form your spring after. I actually don't hammer. I use a rolling mill. So that's something I might consider, is to put it through the rolling mill to here and then form that little bit after. I could definitely experiment with that and see with the hammering. I think it's a great idea. And it looks like that's what I did here. I think I might have hammered that one. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell from the picture. So let's, I'm going to show you guys what we made and you guys can tell me which one you like the best. So here is the abstract one. Here is the note. So we're going to put that one in here and like that. So this is the note in here. And this is the treble clef with the note. So that one's going to go in here to there. And that one sits, I really like that one. So let me know which is your favorite. And I will have a look at the comments to see. Neil likes the abstract. Why am I not surprised, Neil? That's fun, though. I love your taste. You have beautiful taste, and I love all the beautiful things you share and create. All your own designs that you share on the Facebook page too. That's great. Kelly says a ball peen hammer makes a nice flash on the metal. A ball peen hammer, is that just like one of those little round ended hammers? I have a hammer, and I have a little metal steel block that I could use too, so I should definitely try it. Nina likes them all, yay. Bead on the abstract in every bend. Beads would be beautiful, yes. On the abstract one, to put beads would be great. I wouldn't hammer coated wire, yes. So this is possibly coated wire if it's non-tarnished. It's hard to tell. I'll have to find the package to see if this wire is coated. I'm not sure. I like them all, but the abstract much better. Interesting. That is so cool that you guys like the abstract one. But and the sky is the limit, eh? So I'll definitely be doing more tutorials. I'm gonna flip the screen around, and yeah, I'll definitely be doing more of these for the hair clips, scarf clips. And Mustafa says the treble clef is my favorite. They all look good. Thanks. I usually work in copper. So Kelly, when you work in copper, how do you prevent it from tarnishing? Do you treat them after they're done, or do you patina them? I'm curious, because a lot of the copper that's not sealed can definitely change color and tarnish. Although probably the wires they have now are much better. The ones I used to use were just like hardware store copper wires. So I'm sure the wires that they have now are quite a bit better. Here, I'm just going to put this down so you could see my maple leaf. Approximately how much wire did you take? So that's a good question. This one, that for the abstract one, I think I took about 18 inches, maybe something like that. I think it was about 18 inches, but I always cut it too long than too short. I guess in theory I could measure, like that's like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I would say 15 to 18 inches probably. But yeah, and or if ever you have like really cheap wire you want to practice with, you can always use that to work out the measurements and stuff. But I think about that is probably good. Mustafa says, thanks for the best live stream I had, for the best live stream. I misread that. That was hilarious. Thank you. Thanks so much for watching, Mustafa, and for always hopping on when you can. I know the time difference is much later there for you, but I think this is a good time to do the live streams. I used to do them at 9 o'clock at night, so that would not have worked so well for you. If you hammer, use liver of sulfur and polish. Okay, with steel wool. Cool. Awesome. Yay, I'm so happy you guys love them. So for those of you who are in the States, I wish you a happy 4th of July coming up Saturday. Canadians, happy Canada Day. Everybody else have an amazing day, night, evening, and everything. And I DM'd you a pic. Okay, so I'll have a look at that after. And we will see you guys in the Facebook group, the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club. And never hesitate to email me if you have any questions about jewelry making, info@heatherboydwire.com. And we will see you the next time. Bye.